So this is what self-practice with a basket of balls looks like. Now, I'm tinkering with the timing of my hip and how to release my hip on my two-handed backhand a little bit better. So I am going to go through progression. So right here, what I'm focusing on is my left leg knee turn and bend, which should unlock my hip to be more part of the swing to develop easier power. So right here is basically what I'm looking for and to hit. The old way I was hitting, I wasn't loading my front foot properly and wasn't pivoting my rear foot so that the hip can come around with the racket, adding free power. So basically I'm self-feeding, and this is what you should be doing on the court when you have time but no friends. And actually, friends will interfere with your practice because they would just want to hit or play points. If you're really serious about your tennis, you should be doing self-feeds as much as you can and actually working on something and not just putting in blind reps. So here I'm experimenting with timing, see if I could get easier power and put a better quality ball down the court by focusing on knee bend and pointing my left knee and releasing the hip to open up better on the contact point and the rest of the follow through. So far, it's not pretty, and a lot of tennis is not pretty, but I'm having some progress here. I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm feeling that the hip is a little bit more connected to the whole kinetic chain on the two-handed backhand more than before. Now I'm going to try a couple little footwork changes. I'm going to try to not only point the knee and lift the toe unweighted, I'm going to try to bring it around. So I bring it around for more rotation, and I was getting a little bit more rotation, and the leg coming around is a consequence of a more faster, more aggressive swing, and I felt it was producing a better ball. So I'm still warming up. I really didn't warm up when I started this drill, so as I progress throughout the session, I loosen up a little bit and the strokes become better or relaxed. Now I'm playing with a little bit on the run to the outside and getting in some full rotation, like maybe with a mogul step or a mini mogul step, and a little bit of recovery. Now here I'm working on a front foot drop back. So this is a ball that comes in close to you and you want to rotate and you have no room, so you just drop that right leg back, and here I'm trying to just jump and rotate at the same time. See how that felt. And it's just trying to involve the hip rotation more into my backhand than just getting stuck and twisted and running out of rotation. So it means just more dynamic footwork. I get caught being flat-footed often, and when you're flat-footed often, when it turns into competitive points, you trained to be flat-footed. So if you train with active feet and with a little bit more intensity, then that will translate into your match play. So hopefully I'll keep working on this. And being really the first session, really focusing on this, because This is one of the neglected parts of my game. You know, I put a lot of time into my serve, put a lot of time into the forehand, kind of neglected the backhand. I feel that's the same for a lot of people. You know, I know my backhand will never be the weapon, but if I can improve it 5-10% at my age, at my level, I think that's huge. I really think I have room for improvement for even more than that, which gives me motivation to get out there and keep grinding away at it, keep putting in the time, keep drop hitting. You know, I have a basket with like 60 balls. If you only have a shopping bag with 10 balls, that's good enough too. You know, there's no excuse. It was hot, it was muggy. So now here, I'm doing the one-handed forehand, lefty forehand. I'm a righty, so this is trying to loosen up the hip. I find it more natural to loosen the hip hitting a one-hand lefty, and it's funny, it becomes difficult when I add the right hand. So basically this is a two-handed backhand without using the right hand. Same stroke as a forehand, and the legs should move. See how my back foot, weight on the back, weight on the front, and I pivot, and it puts down a decent ball. It's surprising how I never trained the lefty forehand. I could hit a pretty decent lefty forehand. You know, using the off racket hand was a little bit of a challenge because that's another coordination issue. But I'm sure if I put in the time, maybe I'll just be ambidextrous and just hit a full lefty forehand instead of a two-handed backhand. Anything's possible. But we'll stick with the two-handed forehand. I mean, we'll stick with the two-handed backhand. So I keep putting in the reps to get the feeling of the one-handed lefty forehand, trying to follow through, trying to use my off-racket hand here a little bit more to get a more even rotation. It was awkward, but I'm sure with enough repetitions I'll be able to get it down, and I'm able to hit with topspin, with depth, and it's staying within the court, so that's a good thing. You know, this lefty forehand, I wish I had it several years ago. It's not too bad. So I finish off with, of course, I try to swing too hard, I tense up, and now I just want to hit the ball and finish off. And that was my last ball in the basket, so session's over, and that's put it into time.